Heston Roberts says, one of my friends pointed out an interesting fact about the troubled Flash movie. With Flash pushed back to a 2021 release date, will the public still really want it? By the time it gets released in 2021, the Flash TV series will be on its 8th season. Do you believe the potential long success of the Flash TV series can damper the interest of the Flash's movie release?
I know. You know what? Honestly, I really don't. I don't think that a successful Flash on TV is a hindrance to the potential success for a different iteration of the character on the big screen in the movies. I really don't think so at all. If anything, I think it could play to its advantage and play to its favor. Now, you do raise a really interesting point about Flash. And by the way, let me say at the outset here, I love Grant Gustin as the Flash. I love him as the Flash. I really enjoy the show. I didn't like last season so much. This new season's off to a good start. But Ezra Miller as the big screen version of the Flash, I totally bought into him in Justice League. I really did. I thought he was great. And it is a different Barry Allen. It's a little bit of a different Flash than in the TV series, but you don't want them to be exactly the same. And quite frankly, I like both iterations very, very much. Okay, so just let me say that at the outset. You do raise a really intriguing point, though, that, you know, by the time we get an actual Flash movie, we'll be in the Flash TV series' 8th season. Now, if you really want to drive that point home about, you know, contextually what that means, I want to show you guys something. I want to share with you a little conversation that I had with Arrow star Stephen Amell. All right, he's the guy who plays Arrow. And we talked a little bit about the Ezra Miller thing, but he mentioned something in this clip that I think really drives the point home. So here, take a look at this. This is me talking with Stephen Amell about the DC television universe and about the Flash specifically. Take a look. The DC television universe is something that is growing. On AMC, we talk a lot about the DC movie universe that's growing. Now, I've had some people get mad at me because I've always said, I don't want the television and the movie universes to cross over because, and a lot of people would say, but John, how can you say that? Don't you want Stephen Amell as the Green Arrow on the movies? I said, no, you don't understand. I want them to be separate because I don't want Stephen, Guggenheim's, I don't want their hands to be tied by whatever's going on in the movie universe. I want them to have the complete creative freedom they've had up until this point to do whatever the hell they want to do, because that's what's given us such great television. But what, as the performer in it, what is your take on all that?
Oh boy. Are we live? I thought that the way that Warner Brothers announced the slate of DC movies could have been handled better. And I think that someone like Grant Gustin, who has just launched an iconic character like the Flash to record-breaking numbers that far surpassed Arrow's numbers.
But that was thanks to your show.
Yeah, for sure.
All that being said, I think that he should have been given a wider berth than 2 episodes before another actor was announced to play his character. All that being said, that's because I'm protective of Grant, and that's because I think that producing 23 episodes of superhero television is more difficult than producing a feature film.
Right. Okay, yeah.
And it's 23 episodes again and again and again and again.
Right.
And as Peter Roth says, for 12 years, oh God. But I've never seen a need for the television side and the feature side to cross over.
Now, some pretty interesting things that he mentioned there, but the one part that Stephen mentioned that I really want us to zoom in on here for a second is when he mentioned this. This puts it in context. He said, just 2 episodes in. Remember, this was all the way back in season 1 of The Flash. Season 1. 2 weeks into Grant and this new Flash episodes being on is when they announced that. Put that in context. What are we in now? Season 4? We're in season 4. This was back in 2014 when they were just 2 episodes in of season 1 and they announced Ezra Miller. And now we are looking at this, a standalone Flash movie, if it happens at all, coming in the Flash's 8th season. Announcement made, episode 2 of season 1, actual Flash movie coming in Flash's 8th season. That to me is mind-blowing. 7th or 8th, somewhere along that. That is mind-blowing. Now, put this in context though too a little bit. To be fair, it's not like they announced Ezra Miller as the Flash back then and they've never used him since. Ezra Miller did appear as the Flash in Justice League, right? So he did. So let's be fair. He has appeared on screen as Flash. It would be a little bit worse if we were talking about that announcement. Then we're talking about Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson being announced as Black Adam in 1974, and we're not going to get him as Black Adam till like 2035. That would be a little bit of a situation. It would be a different situation if they announced Ezra Miller's Flash, and today in 2018, we had still never seen him. We have seen him in Justice League, so let's be fair. But I think this does highlight some of the, let's say, chaos that's been going on over at Warner Brothers regarding their DC properties historically over the past couple of years. I think Warner Brothers and DC, under their new sheriff, Walter Hamada, I believe they're in a much better place today. I believe they're in a much healthier, much better place today than they have been in the last couple of years. But I do believe this whole Ezra Miller as the Flash situation and how long it's taken to get this developed, I believe that's a pretty good example of the type of chaos they have endured over the past number of years. However, I believe that's behind them. I think they're starting to get their house in order. I think we've got 3 really good-looking films coming up that we just talked about: Aquaman, Shazam, Wonder Woman. These things are being lined up. We got this standalone Joker movie with Joaquin Phoenix that we're all excited about. I think it's a different day. But you're right, man. Pointing that out, you're right. It does kind of illustrate the chaos they have had up until this point.